Hi, my name is Allison and this is the day I've been waiting for so long. I am starting my YouTube channel today. I have been someone who really loves makeup for a while and now I get to share it with the world and I'm super excited. So I'm gonna just do a casual type video here. I'm going to do a chatty get ready with me for using titles. I'm getting ready to go to my birthday dinner with some of my friends and I'm just gonna do my makeup and talk to y'all about who I am so you can get to know me. Okay, so here we go, baby. So about me, like I said, my name is Allison. I am a college student. I am in my senior year of college, which is crazy. It feels like I graduated high school like a week ago. I'm going in with Urban Decay primer. I think it's called the Primer Potion. The Primer Potion. I've had this since, not this tube, but I've been using this since I was like 13, so I really should know the name of it. But yes, I am a college student. I go to school in Texas and I am studying special education. So I am learning how to be a teacher for kids, teens, and adults with special needs, which is super, super awesome and has been a dream of mine for a very long time. And this is another dream of mine, to do makeup, so we're doing the dang thing. Okay, so I'm thinking of not doing like something super crazy or wild. I want to do something that's bold but not like bright colors, so probably something neutral toned, and we're just gonna jump into that. So primer my eyes. Something I always like to do is just to go over my primer with a cream or white powder just to set everything. My hand's literally shaking. I'm so nervous. So my lids are set and I'm gonna go in first with a dark brown shade, and it's gonna look super crazy at first, but trust me, it'll all come together. I'm gonna go in with a dark brown shade and kind of do a little bit above my crease. So I'm going to go in with a dark brown shade. The one I'm deciding to use is from the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. This is probably my most prized possession. That sounds so stupid because like it's makeup and I have like other things in my life that are probably more important than that, but y'all, literally I got to go to Sephora this year, which is like the huge Sephora makeup convention in LA, which was really big for me because I don't really travel like a lot, especially not for makeup. That was the first thing I ever really did for makeup. But I got to meet Natasha Denona and she signed it, and then I got to meet Nikki Tutorials and she signed it, and they were some of the nicest people. Like, oh my goodness. I know that people get reps when they are kind of in the public eye of always having to put on a smile and all that stuff, but they were two of the nicest people I've ever met. Like, they were both so sweet. So that was really awesome. So obviously I love this eyeshadow palette because it's a Natasha Denona palette. Kind of speaks for itself. It's just super close to me now because I haven't signed, and that was really fun. That was a fun time. Okay, back to getting to know me. If you can't tell, I tell a lot of side stories and tangents. Again, I know this looks so strange right now. It's all gonna come together, I promise. So I currently live in Texas for school, and home for me is Missouri. That's where I actually am right now filming this because I came home for Christmas to see my family. I did most of my growing up in Missouri, a little bit in North Carolina before that, but I was really young for that time. But Texas is home now, and I don't know. My parents and everyone else and their mom always asks me if I want to stay in Texas after I graduate. I kind of think I do. Right, so, oh, I also did not even name that brush. Wow. First video, doing great. That was a Morphe Jeffree Star JS13 brush. Mine actually broke, so I had to tape it back together, but still works great. Next I'm going to go in with a MAC 221, and I did a very bold green look the other day. So my brush is still kind of stained, so I'm just going in with some dry brush cleaner. It's from Sonia Kashuk. You can get it at Target. It's absolutely incredible because I just cleaned my brush right now and I don't have to wait for it to dry. So what I'm going to do next is actually going into my Natasha Denona Lila palette. There's some beautiful light brown shades in this, and I'm just going to blend out that crease so it's not as harsh of a line. Okay, so I'm just going to be going into this neutral brown shade right here. It's called Nude Mauve, and I'm just going to be going right above where I just put down that darker brown and just going back and forth and blending out the edges so it's not as harsh. And I'm going above it, so then it kind of looks like a transition, how it starts from light and then gets darker. So our goal here is to just be diffusing the edges. So again, just going in with like a smaller blending brush and just going above that, going in windshield wiper motions, but also in really small circles, just to get a nice seamless blend so everything flows together nicely. The next thing I'm going to do is cut my crease. So I'm going to go in with concealer and cut my lids. What this does is makes it more defined, and it kind of makes it definitely makes your crease more defined, obviously, because that's what you're cutting. It's just a type of look that I like to do. I don't really know how to explain it. If you're watching this, you like makeup, so you know what it is. I am going in with my Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer to cut my lid, and I'm just using an e.l.f. concealer brush. Something that is helpful is getting some concealer and putting it on your lash line, looking up to the ceiling. And then you get this area right here. So that is the top of your crease, and then you're just going to follow that for the rest of it. And I am obsessed with this. This is a Tarte holiday palette. My friend Alex got it for me for Secret Santa at work because she knows me. And it's velvet. Like, it's so cute. It looks like a little present. Something I used to do that would mess me up quite often with cut creases is using just a flat concealer brush for the entire thing. But I've noticed if I use a more detailed brush, this is from BH Cosmetics, it's the 106 brush, that I'm able to actually cut out the line that I want, and it's much easier to do. So that's what I'm doing now. And continuing to fill in the small details with this detailed brush. If you're wanting to do a super winged out look, this is definitely a time when you can do that with your concealer. I'm not really going for that look today, but when you cut the crease, that's definitely when you could do that. Super fun. Okay, so my lid is cut to my liking. So that's what it looks like now. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other one off camera just to speed things up a little bit, and then we'll jump into the more fun stuff. Okay, both of my lids are cut to my liking. So another good helpful tip that I've learned is whenever you put down something liquid or something wet, it's good to set it with something that's powder. So I just put down a concealer on my eyes, so that is gonna have a really tacky feel. So I'm gonna set all of that with a powder, and I'm gonna go back into that cute little Tarte palette, and I looked, it's called the Fall Feels palette, and I'm gonna go in the shade Homecoming, which is just a basic white shade, and I'm gonna set my lid. For those of you watching who are close family members or friends of mine, this has been a long time coming because I've been literally talking about this for ages. I've been wanting to have a YouTube channel for a very long time. I've just never had the confidence to do it, the guts to do it, or the willingness in the sense of product with like a camera and all that kind of stuff. But Santa Claus was really nice to me this year, so we're doing the dang thing, and I am excited about it. Okay, the lids are set, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit to do the rest of the eye so we can kind of see what I'm doing with this. What I have imagined in my head is like a darker gradient from out to in, and I am going to apply some of it with brushes, and then I'm probably going to go in and touch up with my fingers later on just because I found that that works really well for me. The first color I'm going in with is from a Pat McGrath palette. It is the Eye Ecstasy Sublime. It's just one of her smaller palettes, and I'm going into this dark brown shade right here. It's beautiful. It has some gold reflectors in it, and I mean, it kind of goes without saying because it's Pat McGrath, but she's very pigmented. So with this shade, I'm just going in the outer corner and just patting this in on top of the concealer where I cut my lid. I'm bringing it all the way up to my crease to make it have a more seamless blend. I normally do my face makeup first, but when I do a look that is a little bit more bold and has more chances for fallout, I like to do my eyes first, and then I can just kind of clean things up afterwards. And that is what's going to be really helpful about this look, because obviously like my outer corner right now, she's not cute. So we are going to clean it up with a makeup wipe once we're finished with the eyes. Something that you want to make sure of is that you go in the same amount on both sides so it's even. That's something I didn't just do, so I'm fixing it. And I'm going to blend out that edge just a little bit, diffusing it with the same brush, just not going in with any more product. So then the next shade we go in with will blend right in. Okay, the next shade I'm going in with is, I really love, Heaven on Earth. It's from the Chatty Beauty palette. Now I am going in with the metallic shade from Ritual, and so that's this shade right here. And it is a little bit lighter of a brown than what I just did. So like I said, we're just gonna go darker to lighter with that gradient. And I'm going in with my Urban Decay brush. It is Long Claw from Game of Thrones, which is so freaking cool. I know this is like the most basic thing ever, but I love Game of Thrones. I watched that show, I think when I first started it, the first 2 seasons had aired. So then I watched everything else live, and that show just captivated me. Like, I don't want to talk about the ending on here because I don't want controversy to happen in my first video, but it could have ended worse. It could have ended better, but it could have ended worse. I'm pretty sure it's sold out right now, and maybe the pre-orders might be too. But if you were considering getting the Chatty Beauty palette, this is the Textured Neutrals Volume 1. It's the only one she has out right now. It is so incredibly worth the money. Okay, the next shade I'm going into is going to be the lightest of them besides the inner corner, and I'm using my Urban Decay shadow brush. This brush was the brush that I got with my Naked 1 palette. It came with it. If y'all have been doing makeup for a long time, you remember that. I think it's a great brush. Like, it's one of my favorite brushes. I just think it's funny that it came with like the Naked 1 palette because that's so ancient. Oh my goodness. I think I bought that when I was 12, like many moons ago. So the shade I'm going to go into is the Sequin shade with Soothe. So that's this one right here. And this is just a very nice caramely brown. And I'm doing that on the inner third. And of course, anytime when I am applying one of these new brown shades, I take a little bit over top of the one I applied earlier, so they blend together well. And I am taking this shade all the way into the inner corner. As I said earlier, I am planning on going in with my fingers to kind of fix things up a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and do that with each of the 3 shades that I used, just using my fingertips instead of a brush. This helps to intensify the look, and also it helps me with blending because I can actually like feel my brow bone and feel like where I want my crease to start, where I want my lid to stop, all that stuff. So it's helpful. Okay, I finished up using my fingertips for the rest of the eye makeup, and now we're just gonna go back in and blend so things are more seamless and all that fun stuff. So I'm going in with Hayride. It's a very light brown. It's from that cute little Tarte palette. And we're just gonna go back into above my crease. This is where we placed that Natasha Denona shade earlier. And I'm just kind of going over where that was, because this shade's really similar and I wanted to try out some of the shades from this palette. Alright, now I'm kind of indecisive. I am deciding between doing a hit of glitter from Tati's palette on my lid or doing a glitter cut. I think I'm gonna do a glitter cut. I went and got some of my glitter shades, and these are liquid eyeshadows, and what I like to do with these is using a very small pencil brush to create a line where I cut that crease originally. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna start with a more gold shade, which is from Pixie. I got this at Target. It's very pretty. It's called Sunray. I use this most of the times when I do a glitter cut. This is what I use. But I am going to go over it a little bit more with another shade I'll talk about in a sec. This is what I just did here. I did the glitter right over where I originally put that deeper shade, and I'm going to do that on the other eye too. I messed it up. Oh. So what I did was I brought it in a little bit too low. I wanted it to be higher so when my eyes are open, you guys don't kind of see it. But that's not what I did. We're gonna work around it and fix it. I can't decide if I want to go in with my other glitter or not. It's a white iridescent one. It's called Perlina and it's from Stila. It's just like beautiful, glistening white, but I think I'm really liking how this gold is looking on its own. So I'm gonna keep it like this for now and then maybe go in later with Perlina if I want to. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a makeup wipe and just clean out the edges. Okay, I am happy with that. Now it's really red and irritated because I just like drug at my eyelid skin. Okay, now I'm gonna start on the face and then I'm gonna finish up the eyes later. So I'm gonna get my face products. Okay, now I'm gonna do my face. Thank God, we need to fix this. And I like to pull my hair back when I do face makeup. And I found a headband that I used to wear when I was a child here at my family home. And it's bringing me a lot of like Tinkerbell memories. So we're gonna go for it. First I'm gonna prime my face. So I'm gonna go on with the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist just to moisturize some things. Next thing I'm going in with is the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. And of course, having two different types of primers is not enough. So I'm also gonna go in with my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer and fill in my pores a little bit. For me, that's mainly my nose and forehead region. The first product I'm going to put on my face, surprisingly, is not foundation. I'm going in with concealer first, and then I'm going to put on foundation over that and then a little bit more concealer. This is a technique that Scott Barnes uses, and I found that it works really well for me. So I'm going in with my Jeffree Star concealer under my eyes. I have two different sponges I'm going to be going back and forth between today. Both of them are Real Techniques. One is just their very original orange one, and the other one is a powder brush. I use air quotes because I don't use it for powder. I like using it because it has that like really fuzzy feel to it. Kind of like the Juno sponge that came out that everyone was like freaking out about because it's fuzzy. I'm gonna be jumping back and forth between those two sponges. Could cover up all my pain from 2019. Okay, is it just me? I feel like people say this every year though, but 2019 was not the best for me. I don't know if that's how other people experienced it. I feel like people say that every year at the end of the year though, like, this is gonna go back in history and we're all gonna remember how terrible this year was for us. I feel like that's kind of dramatic, but here I am. Hypocrisy. I'm gonna go with foundation now. I'm using my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. I have two different shades of it, F1 and F2, because obviously I'm very pale is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, 2019, like, so much stuff happened this year. Obviously there's a lot of good in everything. There's always good in everything. But this year held a lot of pain for me. So I'm excited for 2020. I'm excited for this year to be over and see what else is in store for me because I keep getting knocked down, but hey, we're back up. And now I'm doing something I've always wanted to do, which is YouTube. One good thing that came from 2019 though was that the St. Louis Blues won the Stanley Cup. Hockey is my favorite sport, ice hockey, and the St. Louis Blues are my team, and they had never won. I'm blending this down my neck too because even the two lightest shades are still too dark for me. They had never won the Stanley Cup before, and this year they were literally in dead last place. They pulled it off. They did the dang thing, and they won the Stanley Cup, and it was absolutely incredible, and now people don't get to make jokes about St. Louis not having any cups anymore. The next thing I'm going to go in with is concealer. Again, yay. So I go in with the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. This is very similar to the beloved Shape Tape. It's just a little bit more hydrating, which is why I like it and why I use it because, like I said, I have dry skin. So my under eyes are always something that take a hit first. After a couple hours of wearing my makeup, my under eyes start looking very dry. So I always like to have as much hydration there as I can. And this concealer really helps with that. This is one thing I don't like about doing my eye makeup before my face makeup is because I always love when I'm blending out my concealer to just go all over my lid and kind of use it as an eyeshadow primer. But Can't do that because got some stuff on the lid. As I said earlier, also you can just see how this concealer is so dewy, and some people don't like that. I actually really like that about this concealer because it makes me think that it's even more hydrating. And as I say that, I'm going to completely contradict myself and go in with a powder and set it, which will now make it matte. But I do this, like I said earlier when I was doing my eyes, when I cut my crease, that if you have something liquid down, then you need to set it with something powder and it helps it stay longer. Obviously this is a little bit difficult for us makeup lovers with dry skin because powder emphasizes dryness. Now I'm not setting my entire face yet because I'm going to do a little bit of cream contour, and I love to use the Huda Beauty Tantour. Next, I'm going to be setting my entire face, and I'm going in with the Hourglass Ambient palette that came out this year, and I am going to use just that center shade, but dab a little bit of the other one in there because why not, to set my entire face. I'm going to take an EcoTools brush that I've literally had since I started doing makeup, aka like 11 years ago. That also makes it sound like I've been doing makeup like this for 11 years. That's not true. I don't even know what I used to do. I think I put like blush on with this and then I put on like neon purple with my finger and then mascara and call it a day. I've been doing actual makeup, like this stuff, for 5 years. So going in with this brown shade down here and just bronzing. Okay, she's really pigmented. I'm gonna kind of beat some of that off. And we're gonna blend that out because she's very pigmented. Alright, I'm gonna contour a little bit with my Be a Light palette by Becca. This is blurring powders, which is really cool. And I'm just gonna go in with this darkest shade and contour a little bit. So I'm just going in with this shade right here. It's the far one, and placing some of that powder on my neck just so things don't seem as bizarre color-wise. And I'm just gonna contour the nose very lightly. Now I'm gonna go with some blush, and I'm also gonna be using that Be a Light palette from Becca. I really like this. I use it a lot. You can't tell. I'm gonna go in with my Imrezi from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's my favorite highlighter of all time, and she's just, oh my goodness, it's just stunning. Since I'm wearing a shirt that reveals them, I am going to contour my clavicles a little bit. It's something I love to do. I don't know why. I think it's so cool. Anybody who is a beginner in makeup, obviously all these steps are not needed. These are just kind of extra things to go above and beyond if that's what you want to do. If not, that's totally fine. You don't have to contour your clavicles. People who are learning about makeup, the reason I am doing this, what contour does is it creates more of the shadow, so it makes them look more defined than they actually are. So you put darker shades where you want there to be shadows and lighter shades where you want there to be light. So for example, a darker shade here, so it looks like my face is slimmer. I'm also going to go in with my Imrezi on my clavicles because it's just stunning, and why not? So I'm going in with the Benefit Brow Superstar. This is something my mom got me for Christmas. She knows me very well. I came with so many cool things. And I'm going to go in with the Precisely My Brow because I haven't used this in so long. This used to be my holy grail brow pencil, but stupid young Allison, when she was in her teens, got shade 6. That's the darkest shade they have of this, which is almost black. My eyebrows are not that dark, so I'm excited to use this now that it is in a more correct shade. The kit that my mom got me, it's all in shade 3 is everything, which is closer to my natural brow color than shade 6. Okay, so with my brows, I was blessed by the heavens with having full brows, and it is something I am constantly grateful for now, not in the past. When I was younger, I absolutely hated my eyebrows because when you're in grade school, you don't get your eyebrows waxed. Like, I mean, maybe you do, I didn't. And so I had these full bushy eyebrows, but they weren't shaped at all and they weren't kept up at all. So it was basically just eyebrow. And I hated it. I hated how full my eyebrows were. Now I see them as a blessing. What I do with my brow pencil is just kind of defining the parts that I want more definition in. So for me, that's the top of the arch here, the tail end of things, and underneath right here. I just want to have a little bit more definition. On this brow in particular, I have a bald spot, so I have to fill that in. I swear how that happened. Do y'all remember those little like mechanical things that like buzz that you could use to fix up your eyebrows? It's like a way to shave your eyebrows. I'll try and insert a picture or something because it's really just hard to describe. But my mom used to do that for me starting in like 7th grade because being 13 and having one eyebrow is just not really the look sometimes. We're gonna go in with 3D brow tones. Anyways, my mom, when I was 13, started doing that for me, cleaning up the middle of my eyebrows. And she always told me, you know, I can do this for you, but don't do it by yourself. Young little beauty guru Allison, the moment my mom left the house, was like, good one, and went back to the room, her bedroom, and got the buzzer thing. Honestly, this is where my memory kind of just like fades out. I don't know if I slipped or if I was just too confident. I don't know what I was thinking or feeling, but I cut my brows to like right here on this one. Not this one, just this one. And thankfully it grew back pretty dang good. I do have that one bald spot, but could have been bad. Now I'm going to do my under eyes. We're gonna finish up the eyes real quick and then we'll be done. I'm trying to think of like what else I should say for y'all to get to know me because I know this is my first video. I'm gonna say stuff like famous YouTubers say, like leave down in the comments what you want to know, but I'm sure in like 3 months this video will have like 2.5 views. So I could say leave questions in the comments what you want to know about me, but I feel like it'll just let me down, so I don't think I'm gonna say that. But if anyone's seeing this and they want questions, by all means. I'm going into that shade we used to blend out the crease and putting this under my eyes on a Sonia Kashuk 05 brush. I'm going to blend that out slightly with that Hayride shade we used from the Tarte one, just to make sure things look nice and seamless. Next, I am going back into my Lila palette and I'm going to use one of my most favorite shades from this palette. It's this one right here, and I'm going to use that to highlight my inner corner. After further thought, I do really like how the gold cut crease turned out, so I'm going to leave it at that instead of hitting it with that touch of the Perlina from Stila. So that'll be that. I'm going to grab some mascara and then we're just going to keep rolling. So I am going to go in with my Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. This is my all-time favorite mascara, y'all. I've tried like high-end mascaras, I've tried luxury mascaras, I've tried almost every drugstore mascara too, but nothing beats this for me. It gives me the volume, it gives me the length, it gives me everything I could ever want. Now go on with lips and we'll be done. I'm going with my KKW Beauty Lip Liner, Nude 0.5. The next product I'm going in with is from YSL, and this is one of their Satin Lip Rouge Per Contour. This is like one of my most favorite lipsticks that I own. I literally use it all the time. I'm just going to tap a little bit of my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Fussy right in the center, just to bring some light there. The next and final thing I'm going to do is set my face, and I'm going in with my Cover FX Illuminating Setting Spray. I get so much backlash from my friends for using this, but I think it's a godsend. Another little tip I like to do is after setting my face, going back in with a little bit more highlighter, and it just sticks to that setting spray beautifully. Alrighty, so that is the finished look. I hope you guys liked that little natural glam type thing. I hope you liked chatting a little bit. I really hope this works out. Like I said before, doing makeup on YouTube has been a dream of mine for the longest time, and I'm hoping this is my segue to it. I hope this is my first video of many and that it just works out. I Hope everyone's having wonderful days wherever you are, days or nights. I don't know what time of day people are watching these. I'm gonna go to my birthday dinner and I will do another video soon. Okay, yay.